Welcome, everyone, to a Pac-12 chat. I'm Andy Katz, pleased to be joined by UCLA's Mick Cronin. And Mick, it feels like the defense is back to where you want it. Last weekend, holding teams under 61. Everyone's locked in for the stretch run. That's me from afar reading it. What do you see on the ground?
I think our defense was good, even at USC, man. I think what happens, Andy, is sometimes on the outside, people just grade the result. We held Arizona to 58 in their own gym.
Right.
Now, I'd have told you that's impossible. Okay. Now, we didn't win the game. Sometimes in our game, you can play good, but the schedule's tough. It's tough, man. And some teams got good teams. They're tournament teams, and it's hard to beat them at home. So nothing's really changed for us other than we got Amari back, and it gives us more depth, more athleticism. It helps our perimeter defense a lot because he's such a good athlete. So we're better because of that, but we're not better because we got things back. We played really hard in those other two games. We just come up a little short in both games.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you pointing that out. And I actually had said that about that Arizona game, that there was nothing to be ashamed about. I mean, you lose a game in the 50s, at their place. Clearly, you guys did play well, just not maybe enough offensively. But, I think what you're saying is so true around the entire country. I mean, we're seeing how hard it is, especially when you get into February, to run a table in a league, go through with one loss, because there's a lot of good teams. There's a lot of good parity, if you will.
Yes.
But for this stretch run, the fact that you've got such a veteran group, how much will that help you?
Yeah, I think, hopefully it'll help you in close games. I think that's a big thing down the stretch. You got a Tiger Campbell to take care of the ball and make free throws. Veteran guy. You got a Jaime Jaquez or a Dave Singleton, guys with ice water in their veins that have played in the Final Four. They're 7-2 in NCAA tournament games, which are mostly close games, right? NCAA tournament games. So you would think that would help you. But, Andy, there's a lot of veterans everywhere because of the super senior COVID rule, so there's a lot of guys doing their fifth year out there. Some redshirted doing a sixth. So like a Marcus Carr. So we're not the only team with some veterans. I said this earlier. It was going to be hard to win this year. This is the oldest year in the history of college basketball because them super seniors could transfer and teams not plugging holes with freshmen. We did. We're the only Power 5, Power 6, because I count the Big East, team that doesn't play a transfer. The only one. So we play freshmen. Our new guys are all freshmen. So hopefully that'll help us next year.
Well, also, I think to that point, I don't care if it's UCLA or not, the fact that you didn't lose any of your core guys, that if they were coming back to college basketball, they wanted to be back with your staff at UCLA to make another run, which I think speaks volumes of what you have helped build there in terms of the commitment both ways with the older guys and your staff. As you look around the landscape, what does that tell you about where you are right now with UCLA?
Well, look, I think sometimes people can get caught up in the coach. And yeah, sure, coaching is important because you got to stand for the right things and you got to be able to coach basketball and get kids to play for a common goal and strategize. But your personnel is key. Your personnel is key. And we've talked about our older guys. You throw Jalen Clark in there because he's a junior. So we got a group of guys, not only have some talent, they're just great guys. They're loyal. They love UCLA, and they have a lot of fun together. And they let me hold them to a high standard, Andy. Here we have a high standard. We've got the most titles, second most Final Fours, and we're doing. Hopefully this year we'll add to both of those. But high standards mean, it means that I have to hold guys accountable and push them. But when you have mature kids that want to be pushed, it just makes your job easier. So the older you get, it's my 20th year, you start to realize, don't believe your own BS sometimes. It's your players. It's not you.
Mick, one last thing. Why do you think this team is built for quick turnarounds, whether that's going to ultimately be these last couple of weeks of that Thursday, Saturday, or at the tournament in Vegas, 3 in a row, or when we get to the NCAA tournament, Thursday, Saturday, Friday, Sunday, boom, boom, boom. Why is this team built for that?
Well, all our Pac-12 teams, that's one thing here now. We're all used to, we play Thursday, Saturday. So we're used to that. So when you get to tournament time, maybe that is an advantage for the Pac-12. Tough for me to say on that. So yeah, quick turnarounds are very common. Takes me back to my Murray State roots in the old Ohio Valley. That's how we did it there, travel partners. But I think more important is having guys that can make plays. That's more important than anything else. I mean, you get on the road, or Jaime didn't have two. Like, for us to win at Arizona, Jaime or Tiger are going to have to, one of them going to have like 15 or more, have a big game, and it didn't happen in either game really that we lost in the Pac-12. So those guys are capable, and we got some freshmen that are capable as well. So, but when you got two veteran guys like that, and Dave Singleton also went 0 for at Arizona, and we still were only down 2 with 2 minutes to play, or whatever it was. We cut it to 4. And at USC, we're down 2 with 2 to play. So our defense holds us in there would be my second reason. But I think you got to have some players. I don't think you can't march through with defense in the NCAA tournament. So for us, we got to get those guys going offensively and have multiple weapons, because your defense is only going to take you so far.
Well, I'm a believer. I think this UCLA team certainly can get to Houston. Long way, I know. I don't want to get ahead of yourself, get you.
Yep.
I know. This is me outside. But anyway, I'm a believer. Mick, I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Andy. Always good catching up with you, buddy.